Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Gershon from Technical Option Traders. So we're back after taking a break from the markets. Had a vacation, enjoyed that. Now let's get back into trading here. So it doesn't seem like I've missed a lot from this little drop here to this. We had a nice run up here on the S&P 500. So next week I'm expecting some sort of consolidation after this leg up. But what is considerate? What I'm looking at here is this up move is very nice, right? It consolidated, and we had a nice breakout here. Now, why did this breakout happen? Some good earning multiples have come out, which are interesting, given the scenario that the market is sitting in. Also, the Fed has increased the rate to 0.75 basis point, so it's not a full 1% hike, and the yields are starting to turn over, which the market is expecting that we may possibly have cuts next year. Okay, so now that is a very positive news for the stock market because the stock market is always looking ahead. However, inflation is still not in control, so we'll have to keep an eye and see with the Fed determining. Even though the GDP number has come as a negative, as a contraction, the Fed is saying the United States is still not in a recession. However, we have to take that with a grain of salt because the Fed has also said last year and throughout the year until they started raising rates that inflation was transitory. So we have to be very careful, even as traders, to what is going on with the Federal Reserve. It looks like they're losing confidence day by day, and that's something that we must monitor. Okay. However, let's get down to purely technicals here and focus on that. This is a nice move up. However, I always get cautious when a spike up like this happens. I'd like to see a pullback and then a breakout to the upside. If we break above 417, we should easily be able to test a 430 and then a 454. That's what I'm looking for right now. However, what remains to be seen is what remains to be a catalyst behind this move. The other thing I'm noticing here is behind every one of these dips over the last few months here, there's been a lot of buying. Okay, so that's very interesting. There's more consecutive buying than selling. However, if we break down to it, the pressure, there's a divergence, right? The volume is declining versus it increasing, right? So the volume did increase on these little nodes, but overall it is still declining. So we want to see volume pick up over here to have confidence that the market is ready to reverse to the upside. But this so far looks positive. We have taken out a previous resistance level, which is a 389 level right here. This is taken out on the S&P 500. So this is giving some good indications that the market may be ready to make the next leg up with all this buying pressure happening over the last couple of days. Okay, so S&P 500 looks very nice right now, and just a pullback is needed here, and then a break above the 417, and we easily test the 430, the 430s, right? Looking at the smaller time frames here. So this is where a lot of the selling had started, right over here after this accumulation or distribution period, and then the sell-off began. So between 411 and 417 will remain a battle between bulls and bears for now, and the bears will try to hold, and we want to see successful bulls push through and get to the 432 level. But so far, this will be an interesting area to watch over the next couple of weeks, just to see what happens between the two right over here. If we push through this, we'll easily test the 432 level. Okay, looking at the triple Qs here, triple Q same idea. However, a very nice bounce relative to the S&P 500 on the Qs, and this is an important level for the Qs to be testing, and possibly we could get a breakout from here and get a nice move to the upside. But so far everything is very flat. Okay, you know what I mean. So this is just a pullback here. It could be a bear market rally, like as you guys could see here. We had a rally up here as well, right, where the volume started, where the market decided that it's going to push up higher and it's going to keep running, right? And the volume over here once again was declining as well. So this is just something to be cautious of over here. However, the volume is flat and the move is going up. So this is telling me that this could be accumulation, that this area is an acceptance area, because the triple Qs had a correction of about, I believe they had a nice correction here. So they tested a 33% correction from the highs. So it's very possible that the Qs start correcting here around this range and just maybe consolidate, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. However, if the triple Qs are unable to get above this area over the next couple months, we'll see a breakdown as well, right? So we are entering into August here. August is also the last month where trading is very, very tricky. September is usually very brutal. So we'll see if this reverses course and breaks to 270 and goes lower. Depending on what the Fed does, we'll have to pay attention to the CPI prints that are going to come out in the following months. If CPI inflation starts to cool down a little bit, that will be a very positive sign, and the market will start to run, right? However, on the hourly time frame, this is a very, very important level right here. However, the bigger level is 338 level, and if it breaks above this, we could get a nice move up to the 370s. But this right here, this area where the triple Qs are sitting, and they need to capture this area and get inside here. Okay, so if they do not, we could see a complete breakdown of the Qs as well, right? So that's something that we want to keep an eye on. So next up here is we have our IWM. Okay, looking at IWM, this was a consolidation phase, breakdown, unable to hold this level. So this was a bear flag. This is where everything just kind of started to go wrong for IWM when this level right here was not able to hold. Okay, so bear flag breakdown, and then as you guys can see here, it consolidated and now it's pushing back up like it has done so previously when it reaches extreme levels, right? So this did a gap fill, at this level right about here up until 162, and now it's bouncing from that. So it's testing this level and now it's going back to test 187, which is a nice move here. But what we have to be careful of is the trend is still aggressively to the downside. Okay, so we have to get this up here, consolidate, maybe break this level, and then we start to get a push. But the interesting part here on this move up, once again, volume is not matching the move, is what I'm seeing. The volume is not matching this. So the volume is declining while the move is going up, so we could get a reversal very quickly here. Looking at a smaller time frame here, a complete whipsaw over the last couple of weeks here. Finally broke through this level, and we'll have to keep an eye, and we'll see if it breaks through. It broke through 178, retest it, and now it finally tested 187. So this level right here around 190 is a big level for us to watch, and we'll keep an eye on this and just to see how it goes and what it does here. It is testing the downtrend line on the smaller time frame. If we can get above this and test a 191, it's going to be a complete big. It's going to be a breakout at least to the 208 level is what I'm seeing. So looking at the Dow is looking strong right now. It's got this downtrend line that it's trying to break. However, I would be very cautious and very careful of everything that's going on in the market right now. One slip up by the Fed, it could really hurt it. Okay, so the Dow Jones important level here. So this is where we broke, tested and broke down. So now it's going back to test it. As you guys can see, a lot of participation is not happening. But if you guys watch my earlier videos, I mentioned this again from June till about end of August, the volume does die down, and then towards the end, towards the beginning of September, the volume picks up after the Labor Day long weekend. So that's something that you guys want to keep your eye on. Something just to be careful of. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour time frame or the 2-hour time frame, trading wise, if we break out of 332, it's easy to test the 340s. If we go to the 340s, we break above to 357, and that's that, right? So it's a simple breakout. However, we are having nice buying spikes, but even these spikes are not rising, they're declining. So I don't like this. So I like to see confluence. I like to see price and volume are moving together in either direction, or they're flat if it's accumulation. Like right here, as you guys can see, it was pretty much flat. So this was accumulation until it finally broke out. But this breakout and this volume, I don't like it. So we'll have to see what happens here. Right now, the other thing we want to keep an eye on is gold. Okay, so gold is trying to push back above. If you guys have been following me for quite some time, I stopped out of gold at 175, so that was way up here. Okay, around this area. So then I said it, like then we were watching gold. It did have a trend line that it was holding, which was this one right here. Then it finally broke that, and it did end up proceeding to break this level right here, which is 168. and then it broke another level, which is a support level around this area here. So this went back and almost tested the previous lows here around 157. So this is, so as you guys can see, every time gold has come to this point, there's been a lot of buying, but this is an important level of interest. If it can't get above 165, 168, we're going to have a pullback, a pull down to the downside around 158 and a complete breakdown, and we will see gold at 145 very, very soon. If this continues, if this pattern continues. But if we look at the monthly on gold, still looks like a cup and handle formation as long as this level holds, which is 158. If it breaks down past 140, 146, then we got our double top on gold, right? So we got here and we got here, right? So we could have a double top and a breakdown, okay? So if that happens, then gold could be at a double top, okay? If it breaks the 146, okay? That's something that we want to keep an eye on. The VIX, the VXX, looking at it on the daily, let's look at the VIX. It is breaking down here, it's coming down while the market's rising. So at least we have a positive news here that the VIX is starting to give some sort of relief, that the fear is starting to decrease in the market, which is a very, very positive sign. That this is starting to happen now. Okay, so we'll see what happens over the coming weeks. So this is my overall analysis, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys like what I do, please like, subscribe to the channel.